All right, people, get on in here. We have got something to talk about. This is a big deal, guys. SCOTUS just struck about 15 minutes ago. Get in here. Make sure you guys can hear me 5x5 video, audio, and then we will break this down. But the SCOTUS is taking up the bump stock ban case. And guys, this is one. This is a really big deal. We're about to break it down as I've seen it so far. This is a big deal right here, baby. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, guys, make sure the audio and the video, let me know in the comments. Good stuff. All right, cool. Everyone's getting in here. That is what I'm talking about. First off, guys, sorry I have not had a video yet today. I've got my kids a really mean cold, and I was hurting, but I have to get on for this. This is a big deal. I'm going to tell you all what it means right here in a second, Teresa. Good. People are winning 5x5. Let's go. Love it. All right, good stuff, guys. Make sure you like this stream and you send this one out because this is a big thing. All right, let me show you what's going on here, and then we will hit this. Sweet, everyone can hear me good. So let me just read you a few of the bump stock headlines that just came out like literally 13 minutes ago. Supreme Court to review Trump-era ban on bump stocks. The Biden administration is defending the ban, which Trump imposed after the mass situation in Las Vegas in 2017. So this is what we've been waiting for. Make no mistake, the level of importance that this is, it's hard to overstate. Let me show you what they're doing, and then I'll break it down a little bit more. Washington. The Supreme Court on Friday stepped into a new gun rights battle by agreeing to weigh whether a Trump-era ban on so-called bump stocks, which allows semi-automatic rifles to fire more quickly, is lawful. Okay, that's the key point. We're going to come back to that in a second. The justices were asked by both the Biden administration and gun rights activists to take up the issue, with lower courts reaching different conclusions on it. Now, remember the backstory here. Multiple different lower courts have said yes, have said no. And what have we been talking about on this channel? That type of discrepancy, the SCOTUS looks at that. Now, you can never guess and you can never predict, but that's what they're doing right now. They just accepted this. This came out today, literally 15 minutes ago. Now, here's the case. The case concerns Texas-based gun owner and licensed dealer Michael Cargill. Sound familiar? Who owned 2 bump stocks before the ban went into effect and later surrendered them to the government. He sued, claiming that the ATF lacked the legal authority to implement the prohibition. That, my friends, is what we're going to hit on in 1 second. Now, let me just make sure everyone gets in here. We're all good to go. Yep, this is big. Let's done. Florida reporting can see in here. Good stuff. So still good stuff. All right. Now, let me tell you why this is such a massive deal. In that last little sentence right there, he sued, claiming the ATF did not have the legal authority to implement the prohibition. Everything relies on that sentence. Because understand, what the ATF has done in the Cargill case, which would be the bump stocks, what they've done in the tactical machining, which would be the frames and receivers, what they've done with the interpretation of what a machine gun is, like a trigger, federal definitions, and the redefining of the pistol brace, all of that was coming from interpretive powers based off of what they wanted to do within the Gun Control Act of 1968. Understand, this is such a massive opportunity to undermine all of those because the methodology in which the ATF decided to implement all of those rules, it's all the exact same one that the bump stock cases decided upon. Interpretation of existing law, not congressional passing existing law. This could, and I'm not exaggerating, this could undermine 5 years of ATF overreach across the board and prevent it going forward if the SCOTUS arrives at the conclusion that the ATF overzealously interpreted existing law and redefined definitions. That's the premise of what we're talking about here. That is what's at stake. And this, you thought they were going to be upset about the Rahimi case, which is the domestic abusers and the restriction on firearms for that. This, they're going to lose their minds because the executive bureaucracies who have been taking the gun rights over time, this is how they use it. This is how they do it. That's why this is such a massive, massive deal. At the exact same time, you got a lot of stuff coming down from the House trying to defund these exact same rules. Guys, I'm not going to jump the gun, so to speak. I'm liking the way this is angling. Just saying. Because now you've got, in the last 2 years, you have the Bruin decision, you now have the Rahimi case, and now you're going to have the Cargill case on bump stocks. This is a big one. Send this one out. Like this video. Get this stream out there because people need to know about it. Now, let me continue here a little bit. I'm going to hit 1 or 2 more things. Someone did a super chat. Thank you, Derek. Can we talk about Trump and his support of the ban? Well, it was a Trump-era ban. Flat out, no politics involved, no personal opinions. It is an actual fact that this was the Trump-era ban. Now, Trump, when he did this with the ATF, they used the existing infrastructure, or they created the definition process, which redefined everything, and then the ATF has been using it ever since. That would be an interesting thing there. And by the way, since then, to be fair, Trump has said in campaign stops at I believe it was either PSA or I think it was PSA in South Carolina, where he said we're getting rid of that pistol brace rule. So again, just to be completely fair, let me just read here real quick. Yeah, so just to support that, President Donald Trump's administration imposed the ban after the terrible situation in Las Vegas in 2017, when the concert happened. That was a terrible part. Policy went into effect in 2019 after this. So that's another piece that I want to tell you guys. The policy went into effect in 2019 after the Supreme Court declined to block it. So now they're deciding to accept it. Interesting, isn't it? Because that's a whole different court. Just to remind you guys, the court is 6-3 conservative majority. They have kind of gone wishy-washy since the Bruin decision on a lot of things, but this one they accepted, which is a very, very good thing. So that is that's a big thing. Sorry guys, I haven't been looking at the chat. I've been trying to get you the information here. But legitimately, guys, it's hard to overstate how big of a deal that this is. The SCOTUS is taking this one. This is a massive deal. Let me just go to different articles just to give you some different angles on this. And like I said, guys, please send this one out because this is important. Another super chat over here. Norman, thank you very much. The court on Friday also took up a second gun rights related case on the NRA's claim that New York State officials' alleged role in urging companies to end ties with the gun rights group constitute unlawful coercion. Of course it did. That's not the big one. Okay, that's not the big one. All right, so let me just bump over to a couple of other ones. Get what I see what I did there? All right. Ultra-left Vox. Who wants to go on an adventure with me? All right, this is from Vox. This is an ultra-left. VOX. Victor, Oscar, X-ray. All right. The Supreme Court will hear a case that could effectively legalize automatic weapons. See? Told you. Vox. Victor. Oscar. X-ray. Oh, goodness gracious. The justices will decide if bump stocks, devices that effectively convert a semi-automatic gun into an automatic weapon, are legal. Lie. It's not what they do. No big deal, though. This also would cover any type of trigger. This is a really, really big one. This is a massive one. And then the Vox article that I'm reading just came out 6 minutes ago. So they're going down the road of 1986, 1968 gun control laws, and then they attack the courts and Fifth and Sixth Circuit courts, which we've covered. All right, so let's see what else someone actually with a not extreme leftward bent is going to say. Let's see here. Let me just refresh that because this is breaking, guys, within about 15 minutes ago. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, yeah, so someone just said, hope they overturn the key card BS. Well, this would be the same vein, what they're interpreting, what something is outside of law. That's the point. Let's see here. This is breaking. There's so much breaking right now with this that it's actually it's kind of hard to find a lot of sources on it. Yeah, I've only got 4 sources when I do, when I look at that. Let me try a different way. Yeah, guys, this is so breaking. There's very few sources on this other than NBC, which I just read you. CNN put a post out. The Reload, I'm about to read you. Supreme Court accepts the bump stock case ban. Yeah, yep, it's Garland versus Cargill, the same thing I just told you. The ban was struck down by an en banc panel of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals as an overreach of executive authority back in January, which we talked about. We've covered this whole thing. And here's a quote of what they said in this case. Quote, a plain reading of the statutory language paired with close consideration of the mechanics of the semi-automatic firearm reveals that a bump stock is excluded from the technical definition of a machine gun set forth in the Gun Control Act and National Firearms Act. So that's both of the acts that the ATF pulls from, right? And it says, this is breaking news. Check back soon for more updates. So right now, guys, this is so new. We are getting this so fresh out of the kitchen that there's very few big sources other than the ones I just covered with you. But this is a big one, guys. Make no mistake. This right here, this is some of that stuff that you dream on because we've been waiting a long time to see something like this. So If you are just now coming in, I'm going to do a brief recap of what we just covered. The Cargill case, Garland versus Cargill, which is the bump stock ban. That is the Trump-era bump stock ban that was introduced in 2017. It was then implemented in 2019. They have had different circuit decisions on it. It is now going to the Supreme Court. They just accepted it. Make sure you guys send this out, like this video, like this stream. Get this out there because this could undermine the ATF overreach across the board. This is amazing. All right, little super chat from Gun Nut. Hope SCOTUS destroys all these despotic trash rules. Thank you for the updates. Yeah, well, that's actually a really good way to surmise what's at risk here for them, because if the Biden administration loses this one, all of the work for the ATF that they've done for the last 2 years, and I say work, the infringements will be out the window completely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I didn't look too sick, because I sure as heck feel like it, but I wanted to get this to you guys immediately as soon as I figured it out, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm going to try to get a video out tonight, but I'll be honest with you, if I am down for the count, I probably won't. So I'm going to try my best, but thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I cannot wait to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments on this one, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys, and enjoy this victory, because that's a heck of a way to start a weekend.